Hi there, my name is Darcy Nalder, and this is a Stones Keep Foundational Learning video. This is the series Thought Conditioners and is the introduction video that explains what thought conditioners are and how to use them. I found them to be a very powerful tool, and I still use them today. Years ago, I read the book, The Power of Positive Thinking, and I found it really helpful. It helped me understand where I was going wrong with some of my internal dialogue and some of the things that I was thinking. At the end of the book, there was a little advertisement that said that I could mail away for some thought conditioners. They were free, and I just had to send an envelope with a stamp on it and my address already on the envelope, and they would mail me these 40 thought conditioners. Even more than the book, these thought conditioners turned out to be quite a gem. They were something that really turned my life around. It was recommended by Norman Vincent Peale to write the little scriptures out on cards and to carry those around with you and to memorize them. You can still get Norman Vincent Peale's thought conditioners for free. They're widely available on the internet in many different locations. Just Google Norman Vincent Peale thought conditioners and it will come up. Here's what it says in the beginning of Norman Vincent Peale's 40 thought conditioners. Since happiness and effectiveness depend upon the kinds of thoughts we think, it's absolutely impossible to be happy if we think unhappiness-producing thoughts. One of the wisest men who ever lived was Marcus Aurelius, who said, "A man's life is what his thoughts make of it." He continues, "If you put into your mind thoughts of fear, you will get thoughts of fear out of your mind. Fill your mind with resentment thoughts, and resentment attitudes will emerge. And in neither case, of course, can you find happiness-inducing thoughts. Whatever the condition of your mind, the thought conditioners I'm going to suggest are so powerful that they will displace unhealthy thoughts. Indeed, displacement is the only way you can drive a thought from the mind." I hadn't thought about my thoughts in quite this way, the way that Norman Vincent Peale was presenting them in his book, The Power of Positive Thinking, and now in his little addendum, thought conditioners. And I started to ponder and to apply the principles that he was recommending. I have learned since that time, as I have changed my own internal dialogue considerably since that time, I have learned that my thoughts actually were giving me away. I thought that my thoughts were personal, and as long as I kept them to myself, they weren't hurting anybody else. Nobody was the wiser, but that actually isn't true because your thoughts give you away in what's happening in your life. For example, someone who has really low self-esteem, they have to be having a lot of negative self-talk going on because that's why they have low self-esteem. They are talking to themselves in such a negative way that they can't have good self-esteem. So I had to change a lot of things that I was thinking internally, and it began with using these thought conditioners to condition my thoughts. I was totally on board because they were Bible scriptures, and I really appreciated Norman's his insight into the scriptures and the extra information that he shared with each one. It got me to think about scriptures in a different way and to apply them to my life personally. Norman Vincent Peale gave some recommendations on how to use the thought conditioners, and I'm just going to share that with you now. The first suggestion was that you read through all of them very quickly and just get a feel for them. And then next, you start at the beginning, and each day you would memorize one verse and meditate upon the brief message that Mr. Peale had after the thought conditioner. And then he would suggest that you practice the simple techniques that he suggests. Then he said that there may be one or two or more of these thought conditioners that really stand out for you, that really hit home. And those ones, you should write them out on a card or photocopy them and cut them out, or just remove them from the book. Or if you're downloading it online, you would just take that particular one and you would put it someplace where you're going to see it all the time, in your wallet, in some conspicuous place like on your bathroom mirror, or someplace where you're going to see it often. And when you see it, you pause and you remember it and you read it, or if you have it memorized, you recite it, and you take it into your daily life in that way. The goal is to have it become part of your dominant thinking. Really, you're trying to rewrite those neural pathways and rewrite it with truth instead of the lies that you have been holding on to and believing for a long time. Now, you might think that I'm being a little bit harsh to say that you were believing lies, but here's what I know. There's either truth or there's lies. There's nothing in between. There's no gray area that it's sort of a lie and sort of a truth. If it isn't true, it's a lie. And I was believing a lot of things that were not true. And here's what I know about lies. They make you miserable, they keep you in depression, and they hurt. And so for a long time, I struggled with very deep, dark depression because I was believing lies. And thought conditioners helped me to replace those thoughts with things that were better for me to think about. And we know that what we focus on, we tend to realize in our life. And so as I changed from thinking about negative thoughts predominantly and moved into thinking these more positive, wholesome thoughts that came from the Bible, it was something like almost like magic, and how it just totally shifted things in my life. So that's an overview of what thought conditioners are. Just one last thought before I sign off. Thought conditioners are not in any particular order. It's not like the first one is the most important and the next one is the second most important, and so on and so forth. They're not in any kind of categories or sorted according to problems. They are just how they came to mind for Mr. Peel as he was writing them down. And so that's the order that they're in. So depending on the person, it will be different thought conditioners that will be the most powerful and the most important to them. So go through them and start applying them in your life. Now, the next video that I have, I'm going to begin at the beginning, and I'll just start with number 1, thought conditioner number 1, and I will show you a quick and easy little way that you can make a thought conditioner into a little booklet that you can easily take with you. You can pop it in your pocket, you can put it in your purse, and it's something that will help to remind you of the thought conditioner that you're working on. So be sure and check out the next video where I start showing you how to put together thought conditioners. There's a free download with it to help you do that project, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.